Hey guys, welcome to College United Engineering Bongani Gumede. So today we'll be doing our basic instructions that you will use most of the time, if not all of the time. Okay, so now the first thing that I'm going to start is the normally open contact. So the first thing, you double tap here and you say LD. So LD means normally open. Okay, so let's work with an input which is X1. Okay, so that's how you'll write it. But for a normally closed contact, you say LDI. So every time you say LDI, okay, and then work with X1. Okay, let's just make this one to be X0. Yeah, let's start from X0 here. X0, yes. So, and then for our output, we always say out and then Y0. Okay, so the instruction is out Y0. Okay, so and then now the last part is our timer. So we say TMR T0 K100. Okay, so here's the instruction. It says TMR T0 K100. So let me explain what's happening. TMR means timer and space bar, then T0 just to say T number what. Can also start from say T11, but we always start from T0, so we can just say T0, but it's not a problem even if you start from T1. Okay, so we say T0 and then we say K100. So in delta we count in tenths of seconds, so which means that for if you want your timer to count for 10 seconds, you will need to say K100. So for 10 seconds it's K100, but for 1 second is K10. Okay, but now we want it to count for 10 seconds. We're going to say K100 and we say okay, and that's it. Okay, so now let's put this into practice. So now let's make a output and turn on that output after 10 seconds. Okay, yes, we're going to use our start button LD X0. Remember, say normally open is always LD, and then we put our stop button LDI X1, and then we energize our timer TMR timer 0, and we'll say for 10 seconds. Okay, and then now let's put a normally open of timer 0. So we say LD. Remember, LD means normally open, and then normal open of what? Of timer 0. So it's the same address T0 T0. Okay, and then now we want to turn on our output, so we're going to say out Y0. Okay, and then there you have it. So now we can compile and we check there's no error, it means that we are right. Then we go on, we say yes, then yes, no, don't recover. Okay, so now, okay, let's go into run mode. So you must check this counter, this timer. It will start to count after. It will start to count when energize X0. So we set on. It's like you're pressing your start button. So now we see your timer is counting. After preset time, we should have our Y0 to turn on. Okay, let's check, and that's it. David, nothing difficult here. So you just have to understand the basic instruction of how to set your stuff. Okay, so but remember, this is we press the start button, but when we set it off, it means that we remove our hand on the button. So what happens, what do we need to do in order to retain or to latch the circuit? We can use internal memories, internal relays. Okay, you can say LD X0, and then we have our stop, and then LDI X1, and then we say out m0. Yes, so now your m's are your internal relays or internal memories. Yeah, okay, just say internal memories. Okay, so and then here okay, and then we go down and then we put a normal open and we'll say ld m0. Okay, this is just to create a latching circuit. And then we say ld m0, and then we energize our timer tmr t0 k100 and say yes, and then ld normal open of your timer 0, so ld t0, and then we say your output out y0, and then that's it. Now we have created a latching circuit so that we don't have a problem. So you can code or you can press compile, then you must check your errors here, and there is no errors. Okay, and then we go online and say yes, and then yes, don't recover. Okay, and then we go online here. Okay, then we say set on. Immediately your M0 energizes, your timer start counting. But when you remove your hand from the start button, your M0 is still continuing to be energized and your timer still continuing to count. And your Y0 has been energized. Yeah, so this is the basic instructions that you will need to know and that you will need to use almost everywhere. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Sharp sharp.